which makes me happy, because I've invested the time in getting to know most of them. Nico took over mowing Mr. and Mrs. Miller's lawn, which I'd been doing since Mr. Miller had hip replacement surgery. I'm glad Nico has taken care of things like that for me. I wouldn't want Mr. Miller to have a setback because he did too much too soon. I heard he even drove my Meals on Wheels route last week, and I can't wait to hear what my regulars think of him. I'm sure they'll have something to say. The worst part of this whole thing, by far, is the halo screwed into my skull that's keeping my head from moving at all while my neck heals. I hate that freaking thing more than I've ever hated anything. Being stuck inside a cage is as maddening as you might expect, and Jason says it's going to be a while yet before I'm freed from my metal prison. Since I can't do much of anything, I mostly spend my time in the hospital watching the door, waiting for the afternoon shift change, which has become the highlight of my day. 5 days a week, anyway. That's when my favorite nurse, Gianna, comes on duty. One of the other nurses told me they rarely have the same patients every day, but Gianna must have pulled some strings or something because she's always assigned to me. I've grown to hate the days when she's off. They feel endless without her there to brighten my small world. Sure, my family is in and out on a schedule that must be planned to cover all my awake hours, but nothing can compare to the time with Gianna. When I'm not looking at the door, I'm watching the clock. She's 2 minutes later than usual. I hope that doesn't mean she wasn't assigned to me today. How crazy is it that the only way this will be a good day is if she comes through that door in the next few minutes, with her silky dark hair pulled into a high ponytail that puts her lovely face on full display. I dream about her pretty face, her gorgeous smile, and plot ways to get rid of the sadness I see in her big brown eyes. I've got a whole list of ideas for when I get the hell out of this place. I'm still mortified that she was the one who removed my catheter after the surgery. I can't even think about that nightmare without wanting to curl up in a ball and hide from the world. Except I can't do that for reasons I've already mentioned. Besides, she's told me at least 10 times to quit making a big deal out of it. "If you've seen one penis, you've seen them all," she likes to say. That's highly offensive, as I consider mine to be rather special. When I tell her that, she laughs, which makes me unreasonably happy. I get the feeling she doesn't laugh like that very often, so I try to make it happen as often as I can. Ah, there she is, and right away I can tell she hardly slept. She confessed to battling terrible insomnia that makes her feel like a zombie at work. The dark shadows under her eyes are a dead giveaway. I wish I wasn't stuck in this stupid bed so I could help her get through her shift. Although, what could I do? I know nothing about medicine, except for what I've learned from weeks in the hospital. I'm due to be released soon to a rehab facility that's part of the Miami-Dade complex, but I'm dreading that because I won't see Gianna every day. I can't even think about leaving her floor without a blue funk descending, which is odd. I tend to be a positive, optimistic sort of person, but thinking about moving on without her feels all kinds of wrong to me. And yes, I'm aware that I sound like a crazy weirdo for having developed such a fierce crush on my nurse. While awake in the middle of the night, I wondered whether it's merely a case of proximity and boredom. But the second she comes into the room, every part of me feels better than it did 5 minutes ago. That's got nothing to do with boredom and everything to do with her. "Hi there." Her cheerful tone never fades, even when she's exhausted. "How'd you sleep last night?" "Fine. How about you?" She shrugs as she scans her badge and logs into the computer stand in my room. "The usual bleep show." That she never swears is another thing that amuses me about her. She says she swears off the job, but I'm not sure I believe her. Isn't there anything you can take for that? "Not without messing me up the next day. Melatonin helps, but I'm maxed out on how much of that I can take. But we're not here to talk about me. How are you feeling? Is the itching at the incision site still bad?" I'd much rather talk about her. "Yeah, it's making me crazy." "If the topical cream isn't working, we can give you something for that, but it's apt to make you sleepy." "It's fine. I'm coping." I don't want to be asleep while she's on duty. "The itching usually only lasts a few days, and it's a sign of healing, which is good news." She types some more. "More good news is that Dr. Northrup has cleared you for release to rehab. You'll be transferred as soon as they have a bed available." I want to cry, even though I'm glad to be doing well enough to move on to rehab. I want to get back to full strength, mostly so I can show